I'm Phoenix Wright, and I'm the lawyer who's gonna do pottery for the rest of my life so that I can get better at rotating vases.
So you can make a
Now I
real
wish
living at
even
something
more
you
that
might
we
be
had
good at.
simply finished the trial before you had to rotate that vase.
Well, I'm sorry. It was hard.
Let's go with the murderer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like the murder weapon didn't change. Because it was still a stab wound.
Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. Objection! But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Objection! Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Oh.
Objection! Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body?
No one would ever do that.
From
An unheard of technique.
From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office.
Across the line they drew down the middle to keep them separate.
Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Mm-hmm. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Reason? Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I know it wasn't in quotes, I just wanted to be part of it.
I've finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been
The wind.
the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
Ah! The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
And there's the fourth knife. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Oh no.
No, I'm not thinking, that is.
We're just going right in.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh.
Well,
You mean
you killed the guy.
Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Oh.
No!
That's okay.
Oh.
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life. And then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
I think that's happened almost every case, Your Honor.
Yeah, I was about
I
to
think
say,
that's
Your
happened
Honor,
almost
do you
every
have
case,
memory
Your
loss?
Honor.
What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that, coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
What's that?
Haha, I don't!
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify.
Well...
About that.
Just
Hold
because
on.
we can doesn't mean we should.
Let me call a friend of mine.
Sorry, I just thought about Maya.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
our girl.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
Uh-huh.
That's impossible.
I am not grasping.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record.
God.
The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind.
I mean... it's in the evidence.
Sure, it's gotta be.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright. Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime.
Our purpose?
There is only one thing we seek.
Oh?
The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
I am once again closing my mouth.
We go through the foot form.
We haven't done anything with the blood on the vase, and they specifically talked about there being lines on it,
That
which
is
feels
true.
like writing.
Yes.
I'm gonna vote the vase.
I mean, I would say that or the
mean-
hand, but like the vase is definitely much more like a message.
Yeah. Well, we also haven't used it for anything with like blood yet, so.
Take that! This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Correct. The killer was the blue badger.
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
That would be impressive.
I mean,
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Is that all it would say?
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
there we go.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line drawn here. Drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
Look at y'all agreeing with each other. So sweet.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor,
I'm dying.
I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Don't mind me while I stake my entire case on the same jar. I've got to connect these dots to make letters.
Damn, I didn't prepare you
I've
for this.
connected the dots.
You haven't connected shit.
I've connected them.
There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. And now, we will play Connect the Dots.
Oh my god.
Oh.
They were like, oh, fuck yeah. Minigames? Hell yeah.
Touchscreen? Touchscreen?
Yeah, this would be nicer on a touchscreen. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Instead of clicking and
I can
dragging.
they're using the trackpad.
Yeah, well, I guess I could just use a mouse.
Every week I play Scriblio with a trackpad.
Well, the problem is that my mouse, this thing doesn't move with my mouse. I have to click and drag it, which is annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
I mean, I know that's what you have to do with Scriblio. It's just not what I want to be doing right now.
No, yeah, I'm commiserating.
Wow, I wonder what this could spell.
Hmm.
Ama? Ame?
Emu.
No, it's clearly aim.
I think it's Iwa, and the
Amy?
middle letter is just upside down.
Ame.
Take that! It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this.
It's like, get fucked, Emma, I guess.
Emma.
Rip.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Skye.
Just remember that this isn't even the case that we're trying to...
Nope.
Not
Oh,
at all.
Jesus.
Nope.
This is a long court day, guys.
See, Worthy? Can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant.
I may hate this man, but I love his theme.
His theme is so fucking good.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case. Were you not?
Here, you can see him adjust his weird tie. It tells me nothing about what the tie is like.
Damn it. It does show that it's secured on the horizontal.
It does also show that it's a fully separate piece from his shirt.
Ack!
Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Ah! Objection! He's dying! But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
Yeah.
We're prosecutors.
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. I gotta agree with what he's saying here. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Oh,
What's going on at the prosecutor's office? They might have sent it as a man death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
What's his fault?
Order! 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 Sorry, family.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears.
He's saying this out loud.
Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Edgeworth is like, I know, I was there. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. To be continued.
Damn. Fucking save music.
Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
This trial is so long.
This trial is insanely long.
Didn't we say it's literally like almost a third of the game?
Yeah, it's insane. It's so long, and like, so much of it is this final trial day.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's good as hell.
Correct.
It is Pigaloon.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
Oh my god. Yup, you are.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait.
It just goes like that.
Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you called me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
God.
Fucking...
Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. But I never learned it.
Law book.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. I sure hope no lawyer in this room would not have learned evidence law by now. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Again, this is basic stuff.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
I totally have. The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. She said, fuck you. A message? She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book. Did I do a good job? Him? I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read.
In like 5 minutes?
Security.
There's rules.
It's only
There's two rules.
It's a whole book.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, detective. Huh? Oh, I'm great. I'm with all three people in this conversation again. Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? You're actually standing, but... Despite all these allegations being thrown at me... Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out that she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body.
What was that all?
That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. Sad hours.
Yeah.
Fucking trial hasn't begun yet. Wow, I sure hope this trial is over quickly and easily so I can go home.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, ahem. Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have,
Struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that.
I just implied it.
It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement.
These are unprecedented times, you see, Your
An
Honor.
unusual arrangement for relationship status.
Modern problems require modern solutions. But a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Only with Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unusual arrangement.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Me at these puns you guys are making.
it's really funny.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god.
Ugh.
It's just really funny because, like, Edgeworth is making the judge feel bad for this, but, like, he kind of did strike a deal with Phoenix. So, like...
Yeah.
like...
Yeah.
Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Mm-hmm. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. I do.
We're married now.
Then it's settled. You're married.
Shit! I wasn't ready.
The defense may now call forth the next witness.
It's okay. You can call me the groom.
We've got a judge, we've got witnesses.
Seems legit.
This is legally binding.
Mr. Wright.
I think you mean Mr. Edgeworth now.
I mean, unless...
I am not going to begin referring to him by Edgeworth.
Because I have taken his left.
We're still Edgeworth and Wright. They just switched.
Oh no! You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, I'm divorcing you. This trial is as good as over. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Dick Gumshoe.
Mike Meekins.
We can't do this
Bruce
every time, but
Goodman.
it's so fucking funny.
I mean, it's Gant, right?
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Gant, yeah.
If he's saying, oh, we need to bring the real murderer out.
Take that! Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
I did not realize his first name was Damon, and I am
Damon
shocked.
Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I actually just realized, we didn't read the book on evidence law.
You can open the court record.
I know, I'm just saying. It's time
Press
for a little
tab to
light
open the court
reading in the
record.
middle of court.